First dive of the season. I was a little late on getting in the water, so completely missed wetsuit temperatures. Just trying to get a feel for what it's like in this area. I've come to this spot years prior and have had some luck. Visibility was a little bit worse this time around with the phytoplankton. You can see kind of floating around the water column. I got my cameraman Jake there with me. I saw what I thought was a northern pike at first, but upon further inspection, seems to be a juvenile muskie, tiger muskie with the spots on it there. Nice forked tail. Gets spooked off by a largemouth bass as well. We're about 15 to 20 feet off the shoreline, just where the milfoil starts to get deeper. I try to work the edge of the milfoil to where it drops off and swim that parallel to the shoreline just to see what's cruising a little bit deeper. A lot of boats in this area, so it's good to keep an eye out, especially if you hear the engines underwater. I run a dive float connected to the bottom of my gun that follows us along maybe 30 yards back. That's got a dive flag on it just to keep other boats and jet skis away from us. Not much on this side of the island, so Jake and I decided to work our way back up around the other side where the wind was coming from, see if we could see anything. A lot of 1 to 2 pound largemouth cruising, so I kind of just followed a few with the camera for a bit. There's a good shot of that rig I have to the shark clip and the float line behind me. There's a bluegill that comes in for a look. Bluegill have pretty light orange color to them in this lake for some reason. You can tell, but it's a bluegill by that black spot on the main dorsal fin. Doing a couple drops down, kind of just for fun, see if there's anything down deeper, but we really haven't seen much as far as carp go. You can see on the side of my float I've got my billy club. I've been using that this season instead of my dive knife because it does a little bit better job with the dispatching. Gave Jake the gun to swim around and see if he could have any better luck. Kind of heading our way around the backside of this island. I was surprised to see these algae blooms already this early in the season. We had a huge heat wave that warmed up the lake, so a couple spots where these plumes get pretty thick. You can see here a lot of invasive weed species have taken over this lake. It's curly pondweed is what you're looking at here with those rough edges. That and Eurasian milfoil are the two big ones in this lake. Jake goes right through an algae plume here. I've been trying out the grunting a little bit more this season to see if I can attract any of the curiosity of the carp. I've read that carp can get kind of curious with that method, so I gave it a shot on this day. You can see I'm in a little bit deeper water above the milfoil line, working this parallel edge of the shore back. Turn to my left here to see where Jake's at in the water. I get a glimpse of a tail fin of a big carp. So I try to line up the shot right away, get it to turn broadside, land the shot, and now it's time to fight it back. So right after the shot, I immediately drop my gun and work my way back to my float. After I grab my club, work my way back up the float line to the gun, and then up the shooting line to where the spear is connected to the carp. So once carp get shot, they will swim deep into the milfoil and try to hide down where it's thick. And first dive of the season, I should have pulled the carp up to the surface a little bit when I had a chance, but I let them get a little bit deep into the weeds here. So I'm struggling to get them out. Definitely one of the bigger carp that I've shot. So this is why the billy club has been working better than the knife. The knife just doesn't do a good job with how hard the skull and the scales are.
That is a big one. Let's go over on the shore.
So I like to swim them a little bit more shallow so I can stand and work with them a little bit better. Get a couple shots here of how big this one actually was. Pretty fun day overall. Brought the gun and the camera along out on the boat just to enjoy the day, and we ended up getting a pretty big one. So that was always a good time. Had to celebrate, of course. So another beautiful day. Hope to get some others soon, but we'll see you on the next one.